Hey everybody, want to wheeze me here a little after 3:30 a.m. Saturday the 14th. Just introduced one of the characters I'm really looking forward to upgrading, that being Boomjet. Now, what I elected to do, rocket ability kind of correlates with, in my mind, to speed, so I've elected to go ahead and get Magna Charge on here, and then the next intro we're going to do Nitro Magna Charge. Magna Charge, he is one of those ones hadn't really heard much about. In terms of like chatter amongst the fans and everything, you hear a lot again, Washbuckler and fire cracking, rattle shake. Don't hear a lot of people talking about Magna Charge. Again, obviously, haven't done any upgrades with him. All I can base this on. Have used him. I withheld him as long as I could. And there were some speed challenges and some tech areas, and I kind of wanted to get him the money as opposed to, like, say, Series 3 Trigger Happy, where I already know everything. So he reminds me, this is a Windows 95 game. It's from the Learning Company. I've said this before, but a little game called Super Solver's Midnight Rescue. You're going up against Morty Maxwell, the master of mischief, and his 5 robotic paintbrushes trying to paint the school with invisible paint. While you would stop them from painting the school with invisible paint was beyond me. It's sad that I remember it was Shady Glen Elementary School. It got to the point you played, the story started to repeat. They're like reading problems, and the stories would repeat, and you would just know the answer. But it was kind of a fun educational type deal. Rolo, Electro, Turbo. There's kind of one on a pogo type thing. I remember what they are. That's where I get the feel for I think Electro. I can't remember if I said that, but anyway, that's where I kind of come up with that. He reminds me a lot of different elements of each of those 5 robotic paintbrushes. So that's kind of why I've kind of had an attraction to him. That's a good segue here because his slogan is a track to attack. Tech element, swap force character. Again, he does. If you love the guy, good news, you've got a second version you can get here in the US. It's exclusive to Target. It's Nitro Magna Charge. Can't get it in a standalone pack. You can get him bundled with, and a double pack basically comes with either Free Ranger or Rattle Shake, so kind of pick your poison there. Later on they'll have Nitro Freeze Blade, again the other speed character. That said, I think he's got really cool aesthetics. I think I've seen some people gripe about the voice. So far, what I've heard, I kind of like it. But we're going to come in here. I'll go ahead and go to it's on the collection screen, so we'll come over here. Oops, we got to go to the tech element, which is way over here. Alright, there he is right here at the top. I think I put Nitro on the portal one time when I was collecting stats, so I believe that's why he's been on there. But we're going to go ahead and read his bio. His not quite as long as some of the others, but Magna Charge, attract to attack. Magna Charge came from the great race of Ultron robots, but was mysteriously created with a giant magnet head. This proved problematic as his peers were all made of metal and were constantly being pulled towards him. As a result, Magna Charge was exiled to a faraway island where he eventually learned to control his magnetic powers. After years of training, he returned to his home to demonstrate his abilities, but found everything completely destroyed. In searching for answers, Magna Charge caught the attention of Master Eon, who realized this unique Ultron soldier was a perfect candidate for the Skylanders. So, pretty cool background story there. We're going to go ahead and back out here, get back to our Skylander menu, take a look at his stats.
In all areas. Not surprisingly.
Yeah. 2 things to note. Number 1, elemental power. He's got a plus 10 bonus because that's what the little thing is today. Max health is not 392. He's level 5. I don't think I used him at all till the end there, and he kind of cleaned house and leveled up quite a bit. But base health, max health was 280. So that's kind of something important to keep in mind there. Speed 50, armor 18. Critical hit 6, and again base elemental power 25. Pretty solid numbers there for Magna Charge. We're going to go ahead back out here. We're going to take a look at his upgrade abilities. Now on the top end, this is where we're at right now. Base attack Hold Y to rapidly fire energy projectiles. Firing for too long will cause the cannon to overheat. You've seen quite a few tech characters have this type of thing. It's one of those deals you just kind of have to temper it, box stock, and kind of wait to get some upgrades, or just pay attention to it if you're in a enemy heavy area. First purchased upgrade is called Polarized Pickup. Press X to pick up enemies, press X again to slam them. While active, loot will be drawn in from a distance. So this is very cool. I like anything that kind of brings the action to you. Obviously the Magna is great for that, kind of akin to jetpack suction gun. Second purchased upgrade, Plasma Shots. This looks pretty sweet. Hold Y to rapidly shoot a magnet cannon that does increased damage. Projectiles heat up after a short time, dealing extra fire damage. So that's a pretty interesting aspect. Final purchased upgrade for the top half, Magnetic Buildup. Hold an object with Polarized Pickup, that's going to be your tertiary attack, for a short time. Release it to deal extra damage. So it's one of those deals, if you can set it up, you're not going to get slaughtered while you wait. Go ahead and go for it, see what you can come up with. Now, you get to a point, you pick a path for the top half. This first one is called Magnetic Armaments Path. Begins with Discharge Recharge. Hold Y to overheat the magnet cannon. Release to shoot a large fireball. So that's kind of an interesting concept there. It is followed up with Heavy Blaster. Magnet cannon does even more damage. Pattern I'm seeing on these Swap Force characters in terms of their paths. The first one does something, the second one accents and makes it better. If that doesn't interest you, the Magnetic Armaments Path, you can take the Magnet Tuner Path. That's this bottom one here. Begins with Burst Pickup. Picking up enemies with Polarized Pickup will knock back nearby enemies. That is followed up with Magnetic Personality. Magnet attacks do increased damage. 2 tons lost states. If it has mass, it can be slammed. So, pretty interesting there. Probably going to want to get both of the base upgrades there, to the point of the path to make your decision. Soul Gem for the top half is called Multi-Barrel. This looks really cool. Kind of turns them into a turret gun. Upgraded magnet cannon that shoots 3 projectiles at once. That sounds promising. It's probably going to depend, how rapidly it shoots and if it overheats. Now, coming in to the bottom end, anything you see here, just keep in mind, will be specific to the bottom end. Begins with Magneto Ball. Press A to drag an enemy around. Press A again to launch them forward. Large enemies cannot be dragged. First purchased upgrade is Eject. While dragging an object or enemy to throw it behind and press X while dragging an object or enemy to throw it behind and boost forward. That's kind of how it stands there. Rad Wheels. Speed is increased. Brand new developments in magnet wheels. Again, this is kind of where Boomjet has his speed increase, so this will be a nice change of pace, literally. Up next is Drag Capacity. 2 enemies can be dragged at once while dashing, so kind of just addresses, your base bottom end stuff with a little bit of speed mixed in on those first 3. Now, what you get, you've got your 2 paths. It begins. Static Build-Up Path is up top. Starts with Shock Stop. Press Y while dragging an enemy to drop it in front of you and shock it. Then we've got Crash Test. Shock Stop and Eject do increased damage. Now, if that doesn't interest you, you've got the Drag Racer Path. Rapid Repel. Press Y while dragging an object or enemy to shoot it without stopping. That probably sounds lame. You're thinking, man, I'm definitely taking the top one. I assure you, something like that is going to be very underappreciated, but come in incredibly handy. Opposite of that is Opposites Repel. A Rapid Repel does increase damage. It is repulsive. So, this is why it's nice. If you recall, I said you're going to have to buy 2 Boomjets. If you like Magna Charge, or you're curious about the other paths, you're a completionist, what have you, Nitro Magna Charge makes it possible to go ahead and knock both of these out. Now, before we leave though, we've got a bottom end Soul Gem. It's called the Super Repulsor. A new wheel makes thrown objects gain increased damage, range, and speed. So kind of a be-all trump card right there. With Magna Charge, I feel like the best way to understand the upgrades is to actually get them. They're not perhaps as clean cut as some of the other characters. They're kind of all building off the same concepts of the magnet, or the guns. So, that said, we will take a look at his quest now. First 6 pretty basic. Defeat 1,000 enemies, eat 15 pieces of fruit, don't take damage outside of story mode, win 10 PvP. Totally maxed out, get to level 20, buy all the upgrades. Big fan of that because it encourages you to explore. This one, get 7,500 elemental damage. Now, tech specific, the 2, and the 3 that really matter. This one is called Out-Teched. Defeat Glumshanks in Jungle Rumble without switching Skylanders. So, that of course is Chapter 5. That's something to keep in mind there. Problem Solver. Complete a total of 25 lock-picking puzzles with this Skylander. Saw this in Giants as well. Main thing, even if you're in a fire or water zone, just remember, hey, it's a puzzle. I'm going to tech to take care of the quest. Now, the specific one we want to pay attention to is Magna Charge's personal quest. That one being, now that's using your head. Deal 5,000 damage using your polarized pickup. That's your first upgrade. Obviously, some of the things you do are actually going to make that a little easier to, obtain the 5,000 damage. Don't think that's going to be too terribly difficult unless you're just like obsessed with the magnet cannon or something. So, we're ready to back out of here and actually run him. Well, he is out of training grounds. Here's what he looks like jumping. I really, really like. I think I've mentioned this since E3. I think the way he jumps is awesome. I'll try to get him facing the camera for you. You get a feel for it there. It's just end over end basically, and it's done seamlessly and effortlessly. Now the big draw for him is the speed. You can just basically hold A. Doesn't run out or anything. Doesn't look like he's obliterating anything. There you can see us dragging a sheep around, so that kind of gives you an idea of what you're doing with him. But I guess that was probably a ram. Thing is though, here he is just moving standard, and now when we turn the corner here, I'm gonna go right back through holding A down. You get the idea. He moves significantly quicker. So. Now, in terms of damage, the A, basically can swing the enemies around. It's almost like a, jump attack. You're seeing 15 to 25, kind of just depends what's going on. Primary attack, you've got 14. That little bar, you just saw it heat up. You can basically, he shoots really fast. I'll just come in right here. We're going to hit that dummy over there. I'm going to hold Y down. Pay attention as that bar goes from black to yellow. It's going to turn to red. That means it's going to overheat. Let's get that sheep out of the way. But here we go. I'm holding Y down still, and that's aggravating it. I'm going to release it and watch how quick it cools off, and we can use it again. So the main thing, once you overheat, just pay attention and actually release. As you can see there, pretty much any time you release, it goes back down to 0. So 14 to 21 there, the primary 15-ish. So we can basically say 14 to 21 and 15. I feel pretty good about that. So that is it. That is Magna Charge. Again, he is level 5. My apologies about that. Kind of had to use him before we got into everything else, but here in the introductions anyway. That said, we'll kind of have like a clean slate here. I have not used Nitro Magna Charge for anything, so we can kind of go box stock there, truly. Again, basically these swappers were on the portal essentially for me to come in, document their health, document their damage numbers. Got something planned for that later on. That said, I'm excited to see how he upgrades again. Whereas with most of them, Blast Zone, Boom Jet, Rattle Shake, you kind of get a feel for what their upgrades are going to be like, and interest you. I think with Magna Charge, you're literally probably going to have to take them and see what they do damage-wise and how they improve the character to sort of know what's best for your playstyle. But that said, we're going to come in and put Nitro Magna Charge on the portal here, introduce him so we can then use him in gameplay. And after that, it'll either be Fire Kraken and Gorilla Drilla, or I'll go into, you know, it may be, I think I'll go ahead and do those guys, and then Hoot Loop and Enchanted, and then Night Shift and Legendary Night Shift lead into the Newlander. So I think that's what I'll do there. That said, hopefully this helps you out. Again, stay tuned. We will be upgrading him throughout the blind playthrough, so make sure to check that out. He's probably got enough cash to pick up a couple of upgrades already. That said, again, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. That'll keep you up with all the latest. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, thank you kindly for watching, and we will be right back for introduction of Nitro Magna Charge.